Do you guys remember the app Bereal? It was like a photo app where it would notify you on your phone once a day, and you would take a picture of your face and what you were doing. At least I think so. I never downloaded this shit, but it was like a viral app, and there was memes like making fun of it for a while. It was freaking a big thing, like #1 in the App Store, and then eventually sold to a mobile game company for $500 million last year. To a company called Voodoo, which is an iPhone gaming company that I had heard of, and it was interesting to me, so I made a video about it at the time. It sold to Voodoo for $500 million. So I don't know if it sold again since then, but I guess the app shut freaking down. This is a video by Cinema Guess. Bereal was rated #1 on the App Store. What killed it, dude? Was it Voodoo? Was it the game company Voodoo Games? That would be interesting, though I don't know why they would do that. Did you guys ever download this app? Let me know, let me know.
It was one of the most viral apps of 2020, even given the #1 app award by the App Store.
Wow.
Its selling point, and only real feature, was to share your real life in the moment, with the app giving you a short time window to take a picture every single day with 2 cameras, hence the name Bereal. But within just a few years, it would fade into near irrelevance, with downloads, engagement, and public interest all falling down, even after a
So it like fell off before they even bought it. Interesting. I guess that does make sense, because why would they sell their app if it was doing well? But at the same time, why did Voodoo buy that?
$500 million acquisition.
Why'd they have so much money too?
Company. In this video, I want to go over what actually caused Bereal to fail, and for that, we'll have to understand its origins. Bereal was created in France by Alexis Beriat and Kevin Perot. Alexis had previously worked at GoPro and claimed to grow frustrated with how fake social media culture had become. People.
Yeah, this is how I can't look at this guy. Hold on. All right. A lot of social networks, or at least more than one social network in the past, has sprouted with this like idea of like social media is so fake. We want to be the one social app that's more real, like on purpose. Like Casey Neistat had an app called Beam that was like this, which was just like Snapchat, but you like film without looking. It was like a gimmick, but he was like promoting it, and it was supposed to be his Snapchat, and that failed. David Dobrik had Dispo for a little while, and then he got canceled, so they kicked him out and probably failed separately. RIP. And then I guess whatever this is. So that's freaking several social media apps. They want to be the realest for realist, which like is not a good business model. I don't think being real is that interesting to people as much as you would like to think. It sounds good, but like people want to see Mr. Beast. That's why he's popular, because he's larger than life. He's better than real. He's loud. He's
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
People posted the best parts of their lives, most of which were edited and staged anyway. From this, he got an interesting idea to build something that went completely against that and revolve around real and raw pictures instead. In early 2020, Bereal launched with its single feature. Once a day, at a random time, users get a notification prompting them to take a photo using both their front and back camera. They had only 2 minutes to do it, and there were no filters or retakes allowed.
So many rules, dude, but I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. The problem is, like, any app could add this feature, you know, and just take your idea, so you gotta change it up quick, otherwise it's freaking gonna happen. Instagram's gonna add this shit, but then if you add too many features, then you're like Snapchat, no one even knows what your fucking app does anymore. So
posting,
it's a balance.
They could see what their friends posted, but only if they actually posted. If you didn't post, you didn't get to see anyone else's pictures, which the creators implemented to get everyone past the barrier of being potentially embarrassed to be the only one taking pictures. At the beginning, the app grew slowly and nobody had found its niche that useful, but in 2021, it started spreading quickly through a college ambassador program. Students across France and later the US were given merch and sometimes paid to get people on campus to install the app, and shared posts online that showed the app as this fun new social thing that everyone was starting to use in order to effectively fake a big user base.
Why does it ironically look so AI scaled up?
And it actually worked. Gen Z users began using it as a shared daily routine with their—
Is Connor Franta Gen Z? I feel like he's like my age. Shouts out to the GOAT.
Friends, and more funny screenshots of the app were posted, this time organically. The random notification became a massive selling point of the app, and users quickly started referencing it on other platforms, especially TikTok. Memes captioned "It's time to be real" quickly became popular.
Yeah, this is how I even found out that this app existed, because I never freaking check anything in the App Store besides games, because I'm a psycho. But I saw like memes like this, and it's like, what is this weird format they're doing? It's the Bereal format, duh, boomer. Sit this one out, Unc.
And people would try to time
Maybe I
their
will.
BeReal to something interesting or joke about what they were doing when it arrived. All of this gave the app even more free marketing. By mid-2022, BeReal hit over 20 million daily active users, with Apple naming it the official iPhone app of the year.
Wow.
It was trending across TikTok and Instagram, often featured in videos poking fun at the pictures people would take, and the app had become a pretty big part of modern culture. But this success was short-lived, and BeReal instantly stumbled into a massive oversight, which was a lack of any real monetization plan. It didn't show any ads or offer any in-app purchases.
Sounds
While the
lit.
creators didn't expect the app to grow
For
this
us.
rapidly, of course, they still had a year since its surge of popularity to introduce some form of monetization, which they just did not do. The company had raised a large amount from big investors, but it was burning that money with no way to make it back. But their second biggest oversight was that the app's main idea was very easy to copy,
Yeah.
and bigger platforms began doing exactly that. In September of 2022, TikTok would launch TikTok Now. It was almost an exact clone of BeReal. Once a day, users would get a random notification.
Never
to post
seen that
dual camera
before.
photo within
Makes
a 2-minute
sense, though.
window. Instagram and Snapchat would also test a dual camera feature. These platforms hadn't improved on anything or implemented anything new, but their versions still pulled attention away from BeReal, especially with their already massive user bases. Most people still preferred BeReal, as it was the original, and what people associated the
It's the
entire
realest.
concept with. It also felt out of place for TikTok to have this feature, and it didn't receive any meaningful engagement as everybody was already familiar with BeReal, but they still understood that without any new features or innovation, they'll just end up overtaken by a bigger company, since their core feature, while clearly successful, was just that, a feature, which would then become a problem with future competition.
And may I say, it's kind of a stupid idea. It's not even that cool. Like, I don't want to see your damn dog and you reacting to it in real time. I don't want to see that. That's ridiculous.
Despite
One
all of
picture
this,
at a time.
BeReal stayed focused on its original idea. It didn't add any new features, it didn't build algorithmic feeds, discovery tools, and still didn't have any monetization for both the app or its users. This decision was praised by most users who liked the purity of the app, but it also meant the app was failing behind in innovation and retention, and engagement did begin to drop. Even though people were still downloading it, and the lack of changes were seemingly liked, more and more people just stopped using the app. Many would ignore the notification entirely, and the 2-minute rule lost all of its initial fun appeal, and started to feel restrictive and annoying when taken at face value. With the early launch came bugs, crashes, and syncing issues.
Yeah, because think about it. If your notification comes while you're taking a nap or taking a shit or whatever, then you missed it. And then no more until tomorrow. Sorry, you just have this useless notification on your phone. Sounds disappointing. I'd delete it. Blocked and reported.
Which only made things worse. By early 2023, BeReal's rankings had slightly dropped, and daily
Does he talk about the voodoo thing?
which was a big reason for the loss in user base, and showed why apps about faking a good lifestyle have retained their users. Even those who continued using the app tried to wait to do something interesting before posting, which just turned it into a more... It just looked like BeReal was silently dying. Then, in April 2024, it was announced that BeReal had been acquired by Voodoo, a French company known for Paper.io and other various mobile games.
Let's hear about my goat, Lonnie Dos, talk about this part. Hold on, what did he have to say about it? Whoops, he's muted. Hold on. Dude, Lonnie Dos here, reporting the news. Freaking trying something a little different today, dude. Voodoo has purchased the app BeReal. Have you guys even heard of this social media app? I freaking vaguely remember it from like last year. It's an app that like sends you a notification once a day, and it's like, take your picture for your day. All right, we know what it is. Talk about Voodoo. Oh, there's an SNL skit about it. Okay, this is too deep. Too reacception for me. But we know Voodoo. They make those simple, hard to master, Twitch-y, like Twitch-style mobile games. Like fucking the ones pictured.
The acquisition price was reported as roughly $540
$500
million US dollars. Voodoo had already began expanding beyond games, and saw BeReal as a recognizable brand with potential for better social activity than what it currently had.
I feel like that was a really not great investment, in my uneducated opinion, but who knows?
Following this acquisition, BeReal received its first real feature update in years. Voodoo introduced bonus BeReals, allowing users to post multiple daily photos after their first.
Epic.
They added friend groups, a feature which you'd expect in a social app anyway. They also tested an early version of features like poll reactions and multi-photo collages, which was a huge update as BeReal was nearly unchanged since its release. but reception to this was still mixed. Some longtime fans appreciated the added flexibility and desire to actually keep the app going, but others didn't like the fact that Bereal had seemingly lost its original gimmick, which made a trend in the first place, that being a daily photo and nothing else. Bereal had also introduced ads around this time for Voodoo to justify their purchase.
Yeah, I feel like this is why all social medias are just kind of the same now. Like Instagram is TikTok, is Snapchat. They're all just trying to be kind of the same. So this app either had to make the choice to stay their own true one idea, or just become a part of the pack and maybe fall off because we have enough of the same things already.
Which many longtime users were, of course, against. All of this to say that Voodoo's investment and update did not stop the decline. Bereal continued slipping in the App Store and Google Play charts, and by late 2024, the app had fewer than 3 million daily active users, a big fall from its peak of 20 million daily active users. The app continued to receive better infrastructure and some quality of life improvements, but none of that mattered to standard users, and Bereal seemed to have a deep problem somewhere within its very foundation. The app had, at this point, lost most of its relevance with Gen Z and social media apps in general. A tiny amount of Bereal memes survived, but only because they worked well as standalone memes, not because they were from Bereal. TikTok now was discontinued entirely, alongside Instagram quietly removing their features shortly after.
Wow.
This wasn't due to Bereal, but
It was just kind of all a fad. No one was probably using the features much.
Because nobody engaged with these features enough to keep them in the apps. All this meant for Instagram and TikTok, of course, was that people would just continue posting their best lifestyle pictures and scroll videos. But Bereal had none of those other features, and remained a gimmicky app. As of 2025, Bereal is still online, and continues to receive some user engagement and updates. The app continues sending out its daily notification, and the basic structure remains unchanged, but usage has dropped further, now having less than 2 million daily active users worldwide. This number includes users who simply open the app to scroll a little bit, so the number of actual creators and dedicated users is likely way smaller. On top of everything, it also received a disliked UI update that just reinforced the direction the app was going.
It looks like Snapchat. The horror! You had one job, dude! Frickin' rip, bozo. I never used this app. Did you guys ever use Bereal? Was it, on your phone? Do you still get the notifications? Was it a fun little game you ever took part in? Shout out to Cinema Guest, dude. Interesting video.